Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. It is the day after, Juventus 6, Salernitana 1. Wait a bit, I need to repeat it because I'm not sure if I said it well. Juventus 6, Salernitana 1. Yes, it's true, 6-1, that's the victory. And we are going to the quarterfinal of Coppa Italia, mamma mia. You know it, the day after videos, they are always a bit longer. Why? Because we are going in detail about what we did well, what we did wrong, and today we have a lot of things to say. The impact of Kenan Yildiz, the beautiful game of Cambiaso, of Federico Chiesa, the start for the very first time in the second half of Joseph Nongue. We have so many things to speak about, but on top of that, we'll also have to speak about Mercato with a news that I didn't want to share to you. Dean Huijsen, done deal, he will go to Roma. What are the benefits? Because you know it, in some unexpected difficult situation or change of situation, we have to check what are the threats, what are the dangers, what are the negative points, but also what are the possible benefits. And we have to check it with rationality. So we'll speak about him. Stay with me because at the end of the video, we'll also speak about Juventus that is really active on the transfer market. Hey, I was not expecting it, but you know it, Mercato is crazy. Before starting the video, let me say that I want to dedicate that video to him. Gianluca Vialli, that unfortunately passed away 1 year ago exactly, a champion, a legend of the game, not only of Juve, but also ask to Chelsea fan, for example, who is Gianluca Vialli? What did he represent to your club, to football? And you will hear only positive things about Gianluca, captain of Juventus, the one that brought that Champions League trophy and lifted it in the air. Mamma mia, what a player. So rest in peace, Gianluca Vialli. Now we are ready to start, of course, after you. Putting a maximum of like, continuing to subscribe, that's important. And you are showing me the last few days a lot of support. Thank you, really appreciate it. So continue to do it if you love the channel. Now we start with an image that I didn't want to show you. Dean Huijsen, photoshopped already with a Roma shirt. Look, we have to speak about it. First of all, my initial thoughts were, no, I don't want to help Roma. Why should a club like Juventus help the other ones? We are not charity. If they have problems with finances, it's not our problem, it's their problem. Okay, we have 15 points more than them. They are not a threat that much anymore to enter that top 4 and taking the spot from Juve. But anyway, I don't want to help them, because when we need help, there is nobody. So I didn't want to see Dean Huijsen there. I wanted him to go to Frosinone, to play with Caio Giorgio, with Sule, with Barrenechea, having guaranteed a starting spot in the defense there, playing game after game, having experience and coming back next season to Juve. That was my initial idea. So I didn't want to. Then it happened. It happened that today we see Fabrizio Romano, Romeo Agresti, Nicolo Schira, Alfredo Pedula, Di Marzio. They are all going towards, it is a done deal. Dean Huijsen will go on loan to Roma. I really want to say one thing. Congratulations and fantastic, beautiful job done by Juve. Yeah, you will tell Beppe, you're crazy, you're just telling us that you didn't want him to go to Roma and now you're saying congratulations. Well, you know, sometimes these kind of unexpected situations, they are happening in life, in football. When did it happen? We all know when it happened. It happened at the 96th minute and 30th second when Jose Mourinho, he hugged Dean Huijsen. And he entered not only his heart, but also his head. Because the kid that is 18 years old, he said, Mamma mia, Jose Mourinho, he absolutely know who I am. And from that moment, when he knew that there was the interest, he didn't want to go anymore to Frosinone. Him and the entourage, they said, no, if there is the possibility to go to Roma, we want to go to Roma. Unexpected situation because Juventus already promised the kid to Frosinone. So what's happening there? Juventus is taking benefit of that situation. They are acting really fast. They are thinking a bit, 2-3 days more, and they're saying, okay, he goes to Roma, you have to give us a bit of money. 700,000 euro for the loan of 6 months, which is fantastic. For a kid that played 12 minutes with us, probably he would have deserved to play more. Yes, he would have played yesterday, 100%, if the deal was not already agreed with Frosinone or Roma. 700,000 is a lot of money for a kid. One, he will have playing time. Second, the player will be happy because that's what he wanted to do. I'm not sure if he would have been as happy to go to Frosinone after he knew about the interest of Roma. You keep him happy. On top of that, he will have probably bigger experience because he will play at Roma in an environment, in a stadium that is much bigger with a lot more pressure of Frosinone. Of course, he's a kid that we spoke about him, and one of his qualities is he's not suffering the pressure, and that's a good one. On top of that, apparently, according to rumors, Juventus, they said, you want to go there? Okay, fine. You extend with 1 more year already your contract before leaving. That means until 2028, which Juventus is fantastic. because we are securing the kid for even longer with a really great, beautiful contract. Then, on top of that, Juventus is saying, you know what? Okay, but it's not over, huh? We also want to take an option immediately, anticipating everyone for a kid that you have there at Roma. Luigi Cherubini, born in 2004. It's a left winger, and he could come to Juve. At the end of the season, he would have been out of contract. He's a player that already made his debut with the first team in Europa League. Played a few minutes there. Well, he will go immediately to Juventus to play in the next gen, with the possibility, of course, to play with the first team. Luigi Cherubini is a player that already scored. Guys, listen really well, for a left winger. 7 goals in Primavera in 14 games is a really beautiful talent. So Juventus is securing already immediately a player for the next gen that is in difficulty now, and a future talent. So Juventus in that deal, Dean Huijsen on loan to Roma, they did extremely well. So we can only applaud. Now, what are the threads? The first thread, of course, is how it was dealt. Because we see that the 18-year-old kid, Dean Huijsen, with his entourage, they have put a lot of pressure on Juve to say, no, we don't want to go there, we want to go there. That's something that in the future we have to pay attention, because when he will come back to Juve, after 6 months of experience of Roma, he will ask playing time, he will ask a lot more, and if he's not happy, well, pay attention to that situation, but that's for the future. First, let him prove himself at Roma. The other consequence that it could be that we already have a player there that is a left winger, a young one that is doing extremely well with the young kids. Well, if he's proving himself until the end of the season and being a Juve player until 2027, well, next season we already have the replacement of Ealing Jr. And could possibly cash in to Ealing Jr. that yesterday didn't play that well. Anyway, the other danger, of course, and that's I wish not that it happened, the decision of Dean Huijsen could be at risk, because we see it on Corriere dello Sport, they are saying Rivoluzione Roma, Roma Revolution. Why? Because apparently Pinto, the sporting director, will be dismissed, and they are taking consideration about Mourinho. If Mourinho is also leaving, well, how many minutes will Dean Huijsen being promised by a new coach? So I hope it will not happen, because that would be a total disaster for the kid, and we don't wish that. Anyway, now we enter into the game of yesterday. Ragazzi che Juve. Kids, listen to me. What a Juve. This is the title of Tutto Sport, because we are speaking about young players. Dean Huijsen, their experience. Cherubini Luigi coming to Juve to the next gen. Well, Juventus is doing a fantastic job with the kids. A really fantastic job with the kids. Yesterday, 3 after 2000 players born. 3 players born after the 2000, they started the game in Coppa Italia. On top of that, 4 other born after 2000 players, they entered in the second half. At the end, we played with 7 young players, which is beautiful, which is fantastic. Yesterday, Nonge has been the 30th player that made his debut with the first team since the creation in 2018 from the next gen. 30, most of them with Max Allegri. This is fantastic. This is a fantastic thing. And I hope you are still there, because before entering in the details of yesterday, I want to say that all of this happened while we, the Juventini, we were pissed off with the management. We were pissed off with the ex-board of directors, with Vice President Nedved, with Agnelli, with Cherubini, with Arrivabene, with the one that went to Tottenham, with Paratici, with everyone. We hated Allegri, we were not happy the way of playing. We were all, or a lot of us, really wishing, or some were wishing, that even Juventus would lose, because we were not the Juventus. We were not doing right things. We were doing only bad things. Well, while the supporters were in protest, they were not singing, they were not supporting. Some of them didn't want to watch the games anymore. Juventus, they took the criticism, that a lot were correct, but they continue to invest, to work for a brighter future. And now we are starting to really see it, because Nonge yesterday, he played really well. He played 20 minutes, but the way that he played in an easy game that was already done, because it was already 4-1 against the B team of Salernitana, and their A team is last in Serie A. We know it. It was an easier game on paper. Well, he did fantastically well. You have talent or you don't have talent. That you can play against Real Madrid, or against Salernitana, or against Cremonese, or against Frosinone or Bologna, whoever the team that eliminated Inter and Napoli. If you have the talent, you have the talent. No discussion. And yesterday we saw a Joseph Nongué that had talent. These first touches, the vision, the fact that he was asking the ball. I'm extremely happy. I tell it and I repeat it. You are not ready for Nongué. And if he's able to continue to play with a lot of seriousness, we can even have a fantastic extra midfielder in the rotation this time. Not only being there on the bench for a few weeks, but now also being ready to enter in part of the game. La Gazzetta is going with Signora sei tremenda. Signora, old lady, you are tremendous, because yesterday was fantastic. That 6-1 was fantastic. I was super happy. Look, nobody was able to predict that 6-1. Opta Paolo, that is actually the official stat reporter, they said we have to check and go back for the last time that Juventus was able to score 6 goals in a game to 2018 February. That's 6 years ago, where Juventus was able to win in Serie A 7-0 against Sassuolo, in Coppa Italia even further, because we have to go until January 2015, where Juventus has beaten Verona 6-1. The good news is that we played immediately after Coppa Italia 6-1 against Verona, immediately against them in Serie A, and you know how much we won? 4-0. We are playing against Salernitana on Sunday. If history is repeating himself, pay attention. Well, I told you something that is not correctly, not 100% right. I told you nobody would have been able to predict it. Well, nobody. Yesterday, before the game, watch along here on the channel, there was Alberto Pereira, a subscriber on the channel, that said, Beppe, everyone is saying 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 for Juve. I go with a 6-1 prediction. Look at my face. I was absolutely thinking that it was totally crazy. It really happened, so congratulations to Alberto Pereira. Anyway, the good news is that Juventus is going to the next game that we are playing on the 11th, on Thursday, against Frosinone. If we are able to beat their boys, then we play against the winner between Roma and Lazio in the semifinals. But of course, heads down. Can we start speaking about the fact that Weah yesterday scored a banger, a world banger? What a goal of Timo Weah. Showing then that he loved the shirt, that he loved where he is, that he was also silencing I don't know who, but it looks like he was really saying, don't forget about me. Don't forget that I'm still here. Yes, Cambiaso is doing well. Yes, we have Ing Jr. Yes, we have Kostic. Yes, we have even McKennie that can play on that wing. Yes, I had that injury. Yes, I had a moment of dip in the beginning of the season. But I'm here, and I can show you that I'm here. And yesterday, that goal was fantastic. Super happy for Timo Weah. Extremely happy for Timo Weah. And you know why I'm extremely happy even more? When I tell you that history is something beautiful, that destiny is sometimes really beautiful. You know, when he was in LA or in USA, when he was doing the tour with the team in the beginning of the summer, he was dreaming about his first goal with Juve, and he said, I'm dreaming about that goal in the Allianz Stadium after an assist of Locatelli. And immediately when he scored that goal, I asked, who did the assist? Let me know, because I have a good memory. I'm old, but I have a good memory, and I remember that, and it happened. So I'm super happy that the dreams can be true, like our dreams at the moment, because don't hide it. The dream is there. We want to win, not only one, but we want to win 2 trophies. Who knows if the dreams of the Juventini will happen. The dream of one Juventino are happening, and the dreams of Kenan Yildiz are happening on the field. Game in, game out, game in, game out. We had a question. What about Kenan Yildiz? Why is he not playing as a starter? Remember in press conference, because Max said he will certainly not play. Well, certainly not play, he forget to add from the start, because he entered in that second half, and what an impact. The kid, I don't know what to say anymore. Honestly, I don't know how to describe it anymore. He's going with a goal that is the replica of the one that he scored at Frosinone, but with a more difficult level, and he's executing it in a perfect way. That change of direction, that power, the fact that he has one target in mind, the goal. Every time that he's taking that ball, receiving that ball, he's thinking about one thing only, going towards the goal. The goal that he's scoring yesterday, dribbling, nutmegging 1 player, 2 players, 3 players, and going with full power to the goal, is just a simple, poetic, beautiful thing. Kenan Yildiz is there. Calma. You know, Max Allegri tried to let him play from the bench to make sure that he's not flying too high. Well, after the fact that he put him in the field yesterday, I think that he's flying even higher now. Mamma mia. Yesterday, fantastic posters everywhere. Him again with that tongue, with Del Piero behind him. Beautiful images. Anyway, what is the answer from Allegri? He said, Yildiz, he has the intelligence of big champions. The goal that he's scoring, only big champions can do it. But of course, wait, because he has a lot of potential, like a lot of other kids that we have. But if we want to know if he will have a great career, well, first of all, he has to be there, consistent for 7-8 years. And only then he can look back and say, I had a big career. Can I speak even more about him? No. I was also happy about the performance of Federico Chiesa. They didn't score, but I don't care if they score, they don't score. The performance of Federico was 5 stars. Fantastic. Pressing, running, that cross that he's doing for the header of Milik before the goal of Rugani, which I was extremely happy about. Again, Rugani, beautiful performance, fantastic way of playing. I was super happy for Daniele. Well, yesterday, Federico really showed the world that he is still Federico, that he's a player that we can count on. The only mistake that we can do as Juventini is starting to compare. Who is better? Is it Yildiz? Is it Chiesa? Who needs to start? This should be something that we don't have to do. Don't try to bring in the Juve world toxicity, because at the moment we don't have toxicity, so we don't need it. About the individuals, can I spend a few more things about the individuals? Ealing Jr. missed a lot. Of course, after not playing that much, it happens. But he had a beautiful opportunity yesterday that he took half, so he needs to improve there. Ealing Jr. That according to Gazzetta dello Sport was not the best one of the field, was actually the flop of the game. Flop of the game is a big word, but it's true that he could have done better. Then I see the ratings of Gazzetta that I'm not 100% agreeing with, which usually I agree with Gazzetta. This time I don't agree that much. Cambiaso was for me fantastic. The importance of Cambiaso on the right, on the left, in the midfield. He can play as a defender, he can play as a starter, he can do some assists. He can also give and score a fantastic, beautiful goal, because that goal that he's scoring is just fantastic. Cambiaso, bravo. But also Locatelli. Can we speak about the performance of Locatelli? Locatelli, fantastic yesterday. You see, yesterday he was less focusing on defending because we didn't have the need to defend, but he was building magic. At a certain moment, he's going with a sombrero over a player, giving that ball with Milik that go and try immediately to score a world goal, because yesterday it was the day of the world goals. Wow. Rabiot played well. I have not a lot of things to say about Rabiot. Weah, we already spoke about. Nonje, we already spoke about. Gatti, what a mistake in the beginning of the game. I have to applaud the fact of the way how he reacted, because he could have thought too much about the Sassuolo game. Well, he went back into the game, but these are things that you can't do. Gatti, you can't do. I didn't appreciate that much the performance of Danilo in the first half, much better in the second half. Is there someone that I forgot? I don't think so. No, I was super happy about all the guys, but you know, there was one thing, if you're speaking up now about collectively, that really impressed me yesterday, and that I'm happy, because it's the first stat that I'm watching before possession, before physical duels, before shots on target, or I'm looking at the pass accuracy. Yesterday, 91.5% pass accuracy, 85% in opposition half. Guys, if you're able to do this kind of thing, that means that you're doing the things in a right way. And there is no coach that can help you. Of course, you need to unmark yourself, you have to be available. But if you're able to go with these kind of percentages, you're already half winning the game. And thanks to, of course, a lot of players that yesterday were playing really well. Look at Locatelli, 101 balls touched yesterday, 95% pass accuracy, 92% in opposition in a final third. Yesterday was fantastic. Locatelli, but also Cambiaso plays extremely well. I told you, everywhere on the field. In the first half, we saw that we were playing too much on the wings. Cambiaso on the right, Ealing Jr. on the left, and these were the players that were touching most balls behind Locatelli. In second half, you see that we were starting to play everywhere on the field. And this happens thanks to a change of formation, because that's where I want to praise yesterday Max Allegri. We started after 20 minutes, and you see the graph here, where we were only playing with a triangle there on the left side with Rabiot, Ealing and Chiesa, and we were not going on that right side. Never. Because we were playing too low with Cambiaso there on the right side, with Gatti. It was not working really well, and Miretti. And then we changed at the 22nd minute with a change. Chiesa going on the right side because he can play on the both fields. And that's where you see the second part of that first half where we are really taking all the field. Fantastic. By the way, I forgot about Miretti. Miretti yesterday was fantastic. Really, that's the player that I admired when he was playing with the youth team. The big difference is that when he was playing with the youth sector, he was delivering these performances game in, game out, game in, game out, game in, game out. So yesterday, not only scored his second goal with Juve, the first one in Coppa Italia with the first team, but this time I hope that he can also understand that he's an intelligent player and that he can also deliver these performances every single week. We finished with Mercato. I told you that it would have been a longer video. With yesterday the words before the game of Giuntoli that said we have no idea about the bid of Arsenal for Dusan Vlahovic. We have absolutely no idea. We don't know about it. There is nothing. Vlahovic is not for sale. Which I believe is correct and is true when he's saying it. On the other side, pay attention because there is that contract extension that at the moment has not been signed for the Serbian player. That is a contract that has been made by old management and probably to anticipate everyone. Also Arsenal, especially Arsenal, we had to increase a lot, not only in what we pay to Fiorentina, but also in the salary of Dusan Vlahovic. And we try to negotiate with him to extend him so that he can also lower his salary, which at the moment is a problem because he's out of budget. If he's not agreeing with Juve, if he doesn't agree, if he doesn't want to renew lowering his salary, it could potentially be a big problem where Juventus could potentially be open for him. And yes, maybe already now in January. The chances are really, really small, 5%, 10%. But if this would happen, if you cash in and if you save a big part of salary, Juventus would go immediately for their dream, their offensive player Sudakov, where Milik would probably play the remaining part of the game, interchanging also with Moiskin. So I'm not sure. Let me know in the comment what you think about it if you're still here. And then we finish with the last one, and it's an important one. Jalot, the player from Lille, that is injured after a huge ACL. Well, at the end of the year, he could go for free, and he already had an agreement with Inter, 5-year contract. He would move there. Now, Juventus, they are trying to do a Bremer, going faster, anticipating. They already found an agreement with Lille. They want to spend 1.5-2 million euro immediately to free him, to take him, probably to replace, in terms of quantity, Huijsen. Not that he will play, because Huijsen was not playing with the first team, but at least he's there, starting to train with the team, first individually, then with the team, then being on the bench when he will be back, because he's about to be back, without any pressure, starting to have a bit of minutes to the leg, to understand the environment and being a real starter maybe next year. Could be a really beautiful reinforcement, because there were big teams on him, like Paris Saint-Germain. I told you about Inter. It's true, it's a bit, because he comes from an ACL that is not yet at the moment 100% healed from, but that could be a really good one. It's a player that can play as a center defender, but can also play as a left back, can play as a right back. So it's also a player that can play everywhere in that defense. And if Juve is thinking, especially for next season, to go towards a 4-3-3, or maybe even this season, that 3-4-3 with some player, well, it's an important player that can give a lot to Juventus. Maybe not immediately, but already for the future, which Juventus is really targeting. I told you, next season we'll play much more games, a minimum of 10 more games than this season. So we need more players. We need maybe a Felipe Anderson, we need midfielders, we need a left back, we need a right back, and you can't go and spend for all your targets, because if you want to go for a Kefren Thuram and spending a lot of money, you need to be really smart. Well, Jalot could be that smart move. Oh, that was it for me, a long video. I told you we spoke about Huijsen, we spoke about Jalot, about Dusan Vlahovic, especially about the game. Probably if we didn't have to speak about Mercato, it would have been even more crazy, because yesterday the game was crazy. The important thing is now, we celebrated yesterday, we celebrated this morning, we woke up with a smile, put it aside, focus on Salerno, focusing because on Sunday we are playing again against Salernitana, the A team, and they will have that sense of revenge. So focus. Ciao, grazie, forza, Juve.
Per me penso che Giuseppe sia il miglior juventino del mondo.